What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode, Unscripted. You may not have heard about this. This is an episode series we've done before where we're given a prompt and we just go off the dome, no script attached, all that fun stuff. Before we get started, though, we have a returning guest. If you have seen this episode before, it's great. If you haven't, check it out. It's dropped out a few weeks ago as the time this is being posted. So let's have her introduce herself for those who don't know who you are.
Hello, my name is Kim. I am a tutor, English tutor, English math tutor, and percussionist for a couple of bands. Yeah,
But I felt
grateful to be here.
like a teacher right there where you see all the emotional, what's it called? The emojis.
The
Oh.
emotional
Yeah.
emoji.
You're trying to be a hype person. Always
Mm.
hyping. We always hype out here.
Bring on the hype and the support. We love it.
Yes, sir. So today we're talking a little bit more on mental health. So behind the scenes
Okay.
we were figuring out what was our topic going to be about, and we decided on mental health. So is there a specific prompt or topic you want to focus on, Kim?
Ooh, you know what?
There's such a wide range of we can go into.
No, but real though. Well, you had mentioned through text yesterday about a video that you were watching with like shame versus guilt. And I do want to elaborate more on that with you and like what kind of stuff stood out to you and maybe we could like talk more on those things.
Yeah, definitely. So
Okay.
before we get into that, let's clarify the definition of shame and guilt. So let me look up some stuff as we speak. What would you say your definition of shame and guilt is, Kim?
Um, that is that's such a broad question. Shame, oh my gosh. Shame uh for me goes along with regret, something that you did that was against your own personal like morals and values. Um, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you did. I think that shame could also be brought upon by others. Um, how do I explain? Uh,
I can probably add on to that.
yeah, go for it.
Both shame and guilt have to do with a painful emotion. Where
Okay.
shame, it's the feeling of or the awareness of having to do something wrong, foolish. So it's that it affects who you are as a person rather than your actions and what you did, if that makes sense. I know with guilt, a lot of sometimes those terms are intertwined, even with, I believe, regret or, yeah, regret. It's that gross feeling that you did something wrong. Guilt focuses more on a moral emotion that violates their own standard. So I guess something for me, something that I feel guilt is probably cursing. Even though I curse a lot,
Okay.
being
Interesting.
around people who follow Christ, typically don't curse. And then when I curse pretty loudly and everyone hears it, I feel that it feels gross. I
Mm,
do feel shameful of it because I acted upon it, though I feel that guilt because I'm aware that it's not right. And then shame would be that continuous effect, like, oh my goodness, I'm a bad person. I don't know why I curse. I shouldn't even be this. It's that you can say that lingering effect.
okay. I was thinking about guilt being more of like a longer term than shame. Uh, good thing that you had mentioned that or like a different perspective on it. Um, hmm, what am I thinking here? Guilt.
Hmm.
I will say guilt definitely lingers. Shame is, oh geez, how to explain it? Um,
Hmm.
Fat shaming. I thought about fat shaming. Oh
Hmm.
gosh.
I mean,
And
that's a good idea too. Just going into like that fat shaming. We don't really call it fat guilting.
yes, fat shaming. And to elaborate more on fat shaming, I think about like expectations, not, is it expectations? Standards.
Andrew.
Standards that are set, um, and like placed into our heads, before we even like knew about it. So for instance, there is the whole fat shaming thing in the Asian culture, which I grew up on, and it's like affects the way that I see myself, and I'm trying not to have those kinds of like um ideals inside of my head that I was raised on, like you're prettier if you are skinnier and you are lighter in complexion. That's like a thing that stands out um in the Filipino culture. The term mestiza is mestizo stands out. And then I kind of like grew up with thinking that, oh, if I or someone else is skinnier or like lighter skinned, they're more beautiful. But it's like that's not true. And then yeah, and I think that also affects the way that I see my body sometimes too. I'm like, all this fat shaming that has happened like throughout my life, is it affecting the way that I see my body and like the progress? And I feel like it's never really enough kind of thing. So geez, wow, all of those things that just came out.
It's
That is, yeah.
a lot. I think you touched on
Mhm.
something that would you say that it's something that you can change or something that's solvable? Or do you feel like that's always going to be not just saying with you, but just like that sh body shame in general? I know with me, I have that as well. I was really heavy growing up. So even now to this day, a lot of times when I see a little bit of fat or extra skin, I'm
Mhm.
like, I got to work out. I need to stop eating food. It's, what would you say? Do you feel like it's resolvable going through that feeling, or is it continuous?
I would say, oh my gosh, is it just so deeply ingrained in me? Um, I would say that those beliefs can definitely be replaced over time. I find myself not shaming people for the way that they look, or like the size that they are. Although it, I mean, of course, it raises some concerns like within obesity, because that is like um within like health risk factors. But there's nothing wrong with pooch. There's nothing wrong with like a little more to hold at night. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like replace those notions in my head from like society and the way that I was brought up in, and the stuff that I had seen. Like everyone is beautiful in their own way, type of deal, you know? And I have to remind myself that too. Like sometimes I'd be looking in the gym mirror, and some days I'm really happy with the progress that I've made, but then some days I'm like, oh my God, I'm still fat. And then I'm like, I would have fast food, like I would cave and get fast food, and I'd be like, oh man, like I ate fast food. Um uh but It's a work in progress, I feel, you
Yeah, it
know.
takes time. It definitely takes time. You're making me think of just the food I ate yesterday. I was looking at myself this morning after I showered. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting a dad bod. No, not really, but mentally I was feeling that. And then I was just thinking of the food I ate yesterday. I'm like, I probably should have not eaten that extra slice of pizza or just
Oh,
in general.
dude, yeah. The body criticism, you know, it's like,
Something that's kind of interesting is that we're conditioned to see extra skin as a bad thing. But when we look at athletes, if we look at models, there's a need for bigger bodies. American football is a great example of that. You
Mhm.
want, as a quarterback, he wants an offensive line that's big and tanky.
Yeah,
In basketball, you want someone that's really tall and is able to block and defend. I think I'm not familiar with
the
basketball.
center.
Center, thank you.
Yes.
So there's a lot of need for that, and even vice versa, there's a lot of need for just smaller, thinner people as well. It's being able to figure out that.
hmm Um, well, it's a work in progress, trying to like love yourself and not compare what you see um in yourself and how you look compared to others. Still learning, you know.
True.
Uh, uh love yourself and all that jazz.
Hey, always love yourself.
Yeah.
There's a common quote. I didn't believe as a high schooler, early college student, though I've learned to apply it more. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult to love someone or to love other people if you're struggling to love yourself.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's can you I hmm. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go deep. So, okay, to be completely frank, for me, I feel like loving myself ebbs and flows a lot. Like, I find myself wondering, even now, can can loving myself be a constant kind of thing? Um, and like judging myself so harshly for the things that I've done in the past, or like, um, well, uh, whenever I I relapse, I do and say some things that hurt other people and in turn hurts myself. And when those things happen and I like snap out of um that consciousness and I think about the things that I've said and done, I'm like feel so much shame and have internalized guilt for that. Um yes, I just made this a therapy session. I don't know how to say. I was just thinking about it. So since we're in the topic of shame and guilt and all of that. That's the thing that weighs heavily on me and is like and loving ourselves. Can I really say that I love myself when I'm making these kinds of decisions that are like harmful for
Hmm.
hurtful for myself and other people? And then I also have to like forgive myself for it. You know what I mean? Ah,
Can one person love themselves and not approve what they do? Or does love and approval have to be side by side?
You tell me.
If I remember, someone told me that I was at a low point not too long ago. I feel like we conversated about this on the phone. That I was just really frustrated and upset, man. I've always, not so much now since I've kind of applied this, but I had a very difficult time loving myself. Like there was a lot of things I just was very difficult. I was very hard on myself. I hold myself to a high standard, and every time I messed up or do something wrong, I would be on top of it right away. But it was to a point that it was almost toxic. So I was figuring it out, trying to understand what is the reason that it's so difficult to love myself. And someone um that I was venting to asked me, do you find yourself struggling to love yourself because you don't approve of the things that you're doing? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of things I don't approve of that I know I can do better. And then he asked, okay, even though you don't approve of the things you do, can you still love yourself? And I think that was the first time I actually was able to say yes.
I like that. Now that you had explained it more, I'm seeing the difference of like still loving yourself despite not approving of the things that you do. I just kind how do I explain? Um, why do I feel like loving myself comes with like a standard or expectations
Hmm. You're
when it
not
can be
able
just
to re
like,
Like you're not able to receive love unless you have done something. It shouldn't be coming free.
yeah, like it's conditional or something like that. Um, there's good days and bad days. I feel um I'm still learning to like rewrite that in my in like subconscious framework kind of like upbringing that I had and telling myself that I love myself more.
I mean,
You know what
over 20
I
years, we've
mm,
had that thought process of not loving ourselves, and then coming to that realization, like it's okay, we can still love ourselves despite all the errors that we've done. It takes time. There's still moments I know with myself that I still struggle with. I'm up at night just frustrated and disappointed.
yeah. Oh, to be human and flawed. It can like
Isn't that the
can
fun thing though?
you know what? Yes. We're not perfect. And you know another thing that I want to work on is being more accountable and what's the word for it? Stop being so judgy of myself. So being more accountable and not placing blame and like not judging myself so much. I found that those are critiques that I've received. Uh, my gosh. And then sometimes I think about it and it's like, is everything just kind of like a projection? Are people projecting their own personal wounds onto you? Am I projecting like the wounds that I have onto separate and you know what? Okay, here's the thing. With therapy, um, I think I think therapy is great. I think it's lovely. Like if it works for you, then it works for you, and that's totally great. I have no like ne negative
Yeah.
perceptions of it.
Yeah.
I just feel like um I've had some people in my life who would try to psychoanalyze me, which I personally like it hurts me because it's like because I'm just not the like not in the headspace to like receive that kind of stuff. And then when friends tell me to get therapy and try to psychoanalyze me with these terms, and it's like I don't know. I feel like the fact that they're also going to therapy kind of makes them want to do that to other people too, but it's like, ah, I don't want to hear this from
Yeah.
you.
It's
Do
the
you do
wrong
you
place,
know
wrong
people
time.
like this?
Mm, yeah, definitely. There's a few people for sure. I was obviously having autism and ADHD and depression and all those infinity stones.
And I'm dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I've come across and they will psychoanalyze me. And for myself, I'm familiar with psychoanalyzation too. I would analyze a lot of things just naturally. So it's a lot of people come in, they hopefully they come in with the right intentions, though it's just the way they apply it, it just doesn't wrong place, wrong time, you know?
Mm.
But goes back to like just the imperfections that we all have. Fun fact, we can make mistakes and we can learn from it.
Learn from your mistakes or the patterns will repeat in your life until you finally learn learn the lesson.
Mhm. Nothing is really lost unless you have a closed mind. It's very difficult
How
to find something that's closed.
how has your relationship with God been lately?
It's, I was thinking about that not too long ago. I feel, I feel a little away from God, though I'm not sure if it really is because I'm still reading, I'm still praying, still listening to worship,
Yeah.
though I don't feel that Holy Spirit present with me, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. That's interesting. Um, by Holy Spirit not being present, do you find that that's like it like ebbs and flows in your life, or does it depend on anything?
Part of it is me being in the worldly world, you could say, just being
Okay, I
away
get
from
that.
holy people. And
Hmm.
it's very difficult, to be honest. There's not many people that practice what we do, realistically.
Very understandable. Dude, yeah. The reason why I had asked that question is because I've also felt distant. Um, and it's interesting that you had brought up the worldly thing. I really like that the term that you used for like feeling distant because due to worldly things, due to things in like inside of myself also that felt like it was being accumulated, like a lot of stress that I was feeling from earthly matters and all of that. And I just felt distant, very distant last week. Stuff happening outside of my control, which is a sign to keep more of the trust. I did do Bible study last night, although I barely paid attention.
You learn about forgiveness.
I still showed up and I've been connecting more with those people, although I felt a lot of um shame and guilt from relapsing and drinking. I should definitely give myself some more grace and like forgiveness. Like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I beating myself up? It's okay.
You are human and you are amazing just the way you are.
Thanks, man. So are you. We love ourselves and all that. It's okay to have hard weeks. We're human. Kim, Kim, human, we're human and we're flawed, and it's totally okay.
Mhm. I feel like that's really something that we should all hear more often to ourselves, or at least tell ourselves that. A
Uh,
lot of us being perfectionists, one little mistake, we feel like we failed.
Sometimes I'm a perfectionist, sometimes I just don't care. Sometimes I'm like, uh, yeah, I don't know.
Finding that like,
Sometimes I'm like,
something goes like in a wave.
yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, I want this to be a certain way, but then I kind of like let it go and be like, it's okay. And I find that you know what? That most times when things don't go according to plan, a lot of good things happen. Like for instance, um, with the bongos, the random decision that I made to uh pick up the words, what are words? Um, to pick up the bongos again because it was because I remember back when I was a kid, I wanted to play guitar. But we didn't have enough money for a left-handed guitar, so I settled for the bongos. But back then, I think I was like in fourth grade. I didn't know how to maintain bongos. Like I didn't even know that you could tune it, so the tone was always kind of like um the pitch wasn't there basically. And so fast forward to now, I decided to take this opportunity um, to play with a band, to play bongos. And it's so funny because I was talking to the guitarist, the leader basically, and he was saying that it was pretty much like it was like a joking thing, like a non-serious thing that he wanted bongos in the band. He just kind of just did it just to see um what would happen. And then we had rehearsed and things just kind of like came together because his drummer had dropped out, but then he found another drummer who brought in a bassist. And then we somehow just got like a whole like ensemble of people just randomly like last minute 2 weeks before the performance, and it ended up going really great. Like it's crazy how things kind of like fall into place sometimes without too much heavy thought, I guess. But yeah, still anxiety inducing, but like so much fun uh that things turn out the way that they do. And I'm so excited. I'm recording another track with bongos in it. And it's like, wow. Like like who would have thunk that this random hobby from fourth grade that I didn't really put too much thought in until um now that I'm 29 and decided to just kind of like wing it and see, oh, maybe I could, I don't know, kind of like bring that back somehow. Yeah, strange. I don't know.
On that spiritual aspect, it's interesting how consistent that always happens. God
Yeah.
always has that plan. And it ties into that nothing is ever wasted. Um, there's this podcast episode I remember recording with one of my bosses and great friend, Kelsey. She still is a director at a camp, and one of the things she talked about was figuring out where she was gonna go in life. And she
Mm.
said something that was really cool, and I needed it at that time, and even now I still need it, is that your education's never wasted. It's always going to be useful for something in the future.
Yes. You know what? That's correct. I gotta keep instilling that mindset in me because sometimes I feel like this I think often of the thing that you say, attitude of gratitude. Um, even in especially in like low moments where I'm like,
Um,
what am I doing all of this for? Like what dude, attitude of gratitude.
you remind me of a story. I think it was a few weeks ago. It's very interesting. Like every time we call each other, we always need it from each other, either to vent or just to check in. And there was one of the times you called me, and I was just going through a really, really rough week. Though ironically, I was also working on a gratitude journal. So every day I'd wake up, or whenever I had the chance, because I was never consistent with the timing, I would always write, "Today I'm grateful for this." One of them was I was grateful for a car, even though it wasn't working. I was still able to get from point A to point B, and I wrote, because of the car, I'm able to go two places. I'm able to go to work, go to school, pick up friends still. And I really feel like, obviously, besides praying and being around people, the attitude of gratitude kept me from lashing out and just wanting to quit.
Was that the week of like your because I remember I don't think I'll ever forget when we were I think it was like I called you over the phone and then your car stopped working. I don't know, something like was it not? But then
Talking about.
what?
Yeah, I
I
think.
was like, am I cursed? No, I'm not cursed. But hey, and then well, okay, but you should have what's it called? Done something about your changing your oil or something like that?
Yeah, it was that. It was the one. I was saying it was a really rough time. I'm really consistent with it, but just that one time, I was just out of it. And yep.
No, I get you, dude. That the car struggles are definitely like they get pretty bad. But hey, you got a new car now. Happy with it?
Let's talk about something else now.
Oh no.
I'm a creature of habit. I liked what I had before, and
Oh,
it
I
was
see.
perfect
Okay.
the way it is. So it's still, I feel like I got uncomfortable with it, but it still doesn't feel like my car, you know?
Oh, getting out of your comfort zone, dude.
True.
Yes, yes, yes. I wish I had more coffee. I oh no, I still do. I have a little bit of sips left.
Nice. I feel like that should be it for our day. It's
Yes.
coffee break. I feel like that's a great segment to end it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
Yep, yep.
Yes, it's been lovely. I'm very grateful.
Unscripted, baby. That's that's
We
what it
stay
is.
grateful in these streets. In these streets, always, always. Not always, but well, no.
As
Yes.
much as we can.
Trying all trying to be even in like low points. It helps.
To our weakness, God, I need to find that Bible verse. It's gonna bother me. I quoted so many incorrect. For when I am weak, you are strong.
Dude, we gotta tackle our days like Tyranitar. Peace.
Ah, like that. Yo, I have that exact card too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes. Very nice. Where did I get this from? I think this specific one I got $3. Oh, from there was a pop-up after church and I got this and another Pikachu card that's in my wallet, but I don't have my wallet at the moment.
Found it.
Ah,
So it is second, we'll end with this. It is Second Corinthians
yes.
12:10, and it's gonna be on this as well. This is what this is the NIV. So this is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecution, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong.
Yep. Is that
Context,
where is that from?
It's from Second Corinthians. This is
Corin-
Paul.
Corinthian.
Paul the Apostle, or Saul from Tarsus, wrote a good chunk of the New Testament. Great story for anyone who isn't familiar with the Bible or just familiar with Saul of Tarsus. Check him out. Paul the Apostle. Man is, you feel like you're struggling? Check out that man.
Paul is rather controversial writer. I find that I grew up really liking Corinthians and what else did he write?
Timothy.
Uh, Timothy. Uh, yeah, but when I was rereading his stuff, I was kind of like, he's very blunt in the way that he says things, so it's kind of a bit like off-putting, and I need a little bit of like take back. But then going back into it, I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying here.
Mhm.
Yes.
There is no wiggle room when it comes to truth.
Does truth hurt? Sometimes. Uh, I also like King Solomon. Yeah, I like his stuff, his writing.
Even with all their mistakes, God still used them.
Yes, we are all flawed.
Hmm.
Name someone who's perfect, I dare you.
Hmm. Sign my Bible, please.
Yes.
PSA, pass a smile, stay safe, always be awesome. See you guys next time.
It's all love.